Hey guys, it's Rainy. I want to do something a little bit different this week. So typically I would be writing a blog instead of, posting a video, but this is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I also wanted this week to be a bit more of a conversation rather than you just reading a post that I make. So I figured I'd just start off by kind of talking about my weekend summary. So I feel like I say this every week, but this past week has been crazy, and I'm probably going to continue to say that every single week of this semester. Doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing, it always just feels like I have so much going on. And mostly that's because I always do have a lot of stuff going on. It just kind of, depends, I feel like, on how I handle it that week. So it's more within myself than actual stuff that I have going on. But I figured I'd just go ahead and open up my planner. So one thing that I'd like you to know about me is that I'm kind of a psycho when it comes to planning. I take planners very seriously. I always buy one at the beginning of the semester. It always has to be a new planner. I can't use the same one. I just like to start each semester off with, fresh start so I can just see everything at all times. And I figured I'd go ahead and just show you an example. So this is the month of September. I feel like I'm about to read a book to you. So this is my planner. Well, let's go off a little bit. So not too bad. I kind of color coordinate. I'm not going to go into the specific details, but you can kind of see the general gist of when I have stuff going on, when I have meetings, interviews for my classes, since I'm a journalism major, so I have interviews all the time. Advising, other stuff that I have. Really, just everything that I'm doing is in my planner in some format. So in the last week, let's see. Last week I had all my tests, like my first quizzes and tests and whatnot. It's about that point in the semester. I volunteered for a study away program that was being held in the Tate Center, which is actually super cool. There was, you know, dozens and dozens of, these different study abroad programs that basically were, set up to, advertise and speak to students about what, they had to offer. And because I went to Prague this past summer, I decided that I would really want to share my passion about the trip and what I did with other people who may be interested in the same thing. So I did that for a couple hours last Tuesday, which actually was a lot of fun. That was also the same day that I posted my first blog post. So that was a fun day. That was a really good day. Um, my best friend, got engaged, which was super cool. Her fiance had actually texted me, I want to say a couple weeks ago, maybe in a couple months. I kind of lose track of time. It was back in August, actually, now that I remember. And he said, are you at work right now? Because she's a coworker of mine. I'm sure he was making sure that I wasn't standing right beside her. I was like, no, I'm not at work. What's up? Actually, I was actually at the beach with some high school friends. So I sent him a picture of the beach and I said, no, I'm not at work. Um, but he was sending me some ideas for rings he was wanting to get her. So I've known for a while and it's been driving me absolutely crazy. So it finally happened and now she's engaged. She said yes, obviously. And not only that, but she has asked for me to be a bridesmaid in her wedding, which is super cool because I've never been a bridesmaid before. So that was super cool too. Um, I had an interview with a guy from my class, turning some advising. I wasn't able to go to the football game, UJ versus Arkansas, but that was my fault. I made a mistake with requesting off of work, which was kind of frustrating because I could have gone if I hadn't done that. But, it's fine. I got to make some money and, so it's whatever. But that was kind of my weekend summary. Um, so, yeah. Um, Another thing too that I was thinking about, because I was trying to think of general things that I wanted to cover, stuff that's been on my mind this past week. Um, and last night I was looking over at my desk because I have this cute little quilted um, thing on my wall that I essentially can pin stuff up, and it's kind of become my sticker holder. And when I say sticker holder, I very quite literally mean my sticker holder. In the last 2 years, I'm gonna turn my music down a bit. I have instrumental music playing in the background. In the last 2 years, I have become very fond of collecting stickers, and it's from a wide variety of different, events, things that I've gone to, stuff that it represents. Um, I feel like it's a kind of a cool way to catalog, stuff that I've done, stuff that I've seen, things I've been involved in. Um, Originally I was planning on putting them into a laptop cover, like people tend to do. But I decided that I wanted to try and think of something more permanent to do with it. So I have kind of just stuck them up on my wall in the hopes that one day I'll figure out what to do with all my stickers. So if any of you guys have any clue as to what I can do, like a fun craft that I can do with my stickers, please tell me, because I want to do something fun with it that'll really showcase all the stickers that I have. But I have a stack of them. I have more, but this is just like a stack of them that I have here with me that I figured I could show you guys a couple. I have a lot of stickers. Oh, I'm dropping them too. See, do you see how thick this is? I have a lot of stickers, which is fine. I just have a lot. So I need to find something cool to do with them, like I said. But from concerts I've been to, stores down in downtown Athens, this is for a mental health nonprofit in downtown Athens, Nucci Space. I've volunteered. I've been to events. I've done an article over them before. Really good place to visit if you're ever in the area. This is for my certificate program at school. This is a cool little thing that my mom got me. Um, let's see. This is actually not a sticker, but something my mom got me, which is relevant every single day of my life. um, Starbucks, because gotta represent the siren. I said concerts, Prague. Oops, upside down. Anyways, I could go on and on about all of these, but like I said, I feel like it's a nice way to kind of be able to look up and reflect on just a bunch of little things that I've done that at the end of the day, you may forget, oh, like that's something that I did, or oh, that's somewhere I've been. And it's a nice little reminder of, people that I've come into contact with, events that I've been to, stuff that I've done that I'm very passionate about, things to this day that I'm still very involved in, bands that have really made an emotional impact on me. I've cried at least three of the concerts that I have stickers for, but then again, I cry a lot, but not because I'm sad, but because I'm just a very emotional person. So if I'm happy, I cry. If I'm, sad, I cry. It's just kind of my release of my emotions. Anyway, that sounds a lot more depressing than I want it to be. I'm okay. But like I said, I was thinking about stuff that's been on my mind in the last week. And something that I feel like that's been especially relevant is, in the face of adversity, really just sticking to what you know and what you know about yourself. This semester is going to be really crazy for me. I am a senior at UGA. I am a political science and journalism double major, which means, if you can't tell, I'm wanting to apply to law school. I kind of mentioned that in my last post as well. Which means I'm going to be applying to law schools in the coming weeks, which means writing personal statements, building my resume, really just kind of preparing for all that is to come. I'm retaking the LSAT in a couple of weeks, late October. And I remember ever since I was young, and I kind of touched on this in the last post, people have always tried to caution me about going into law school. And that's come in the face of many different formats, not just one. There's been, maybe you should think about, other career paths. That's a really tough thing to pursue, which I totally agree. It is a very tough thing to pursue. But, even when speaking to attorneys, they always ask me, why do you want to go into law school? And I always tell them the same thing. I said it's because I want to help people, and I feel like this is the perfect career path where it intersects all my interests together, all in the same universe of being able to practice what I am really passionate about doing. But at the same time, that also means that even the people who are in the profession that I want to be in have told me, be careful. I think one of the toughest comments I've been told, was someone who wasn't very socially aware and, basically told me, why are you going into law school when you belong in the home as a wife and a mother? Yeah, so that was tough to hear, not only because it was from someone that I really cared about, but because it just kind of shows how a lot of people perceive women in today's society. How, they don't belong in these really esteemed professions. They don't belong in these fields. They belong, in a really safe little bubble, and they shouldn't really venture outside of that. But quite frankly, that's never really been the person that I am. I've never been that way. I've always challenged myself. I've always kind of pushed the boundaries of what I thought I could do because I hold very high standards for myself. And that's kind of plays into the whole I never quite feel like I'm hitting the mark of what I set for myself. Which sometimes means I have to be very honest with myself. Is this goal something, or this thing that I want to do, is this something that is actually attainable? Can I actually reach this? And more often than not, it is. It is something that I can do. Is it hard? Yes. Are there many challenges in the way? Of course there are. But can I do it? Yeah, I can. And law school has never been that thing for me. I've never been given a reason to not do this. So I'm going to do it until I'm given a reason not to, basically. Um, but, just in all things, I was thinking about the expression sticking to your guns. And I feel like there's a negative connotation behind that expression because it means, even whenever you're being given advice or sometimes criticism for a choice that you want to make, that it's almost an example or display of stubbornness, not heeding the thoughts and feelings or advice of other people. But when I say sticking to your guns, I say you know yourself better than anyone else. You know, you may have been, raised by your parents or, grew up with a childhood friend, met friends in college or, later in life who have seen you through, your thick and thin, some of the best and worst moments of your life. But at the end of the day, you are your own hero, your own advocate. You know your mind, what makes you happy, what makes you sad. You know how to adapt to your environment. Again, you know yourself better than anyone else does. So when I say that you should always stick to your guns, I say that in the sense of I feel like it is very important, and this is something I try to do every single day, which I'm not perfect, so sometimes my stubbornness does kind of get in the way of this. But when I say stick to your guns, I say be honest with yourself about what you think you can and can't do. And I also say that in the sense of be open to criticism, be open to different ideas, be open to advice, people, especially from people who really do care about you. Because they never mean it in a selfish way. It's always concern. But stick to your guns, where even if you are being told not to do something, that this isn't the best thing for you, this isn't the best choice to make, if you know in your heart that it is the best thing for you, then stick to your guns and just do it. It's not always easy. It can cause problems. I've had it done with me before, where I've done something that someone has told me not to do, but, sometimes it turns out good, sometimes it doesn't, which is okay. It's all part of life, making mistakes and learning from them. So, in summary, it's not always going to be easy, but like I said, as long as you're true to yourself and stick to your guns, I think you will turn out okay. So that's kind of been my week. I'm really excited for the UJ Notre Dame game this weekend. It's going to be a blackout game. It's a night game, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I have my whole week planned, but it's kind of all like building to this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, this was kind of out of my comfort zone. I absolutely hate listening to my own voice. So I'm probably not going to even listen to this whole video. I'm just going to like post it and just do it before I overthink it. But it's been nice chatting with you guys. I'm always open to, people reaching out, talking to me. If you have any questions, concerns, I'm completely open. Or if you just want to chat, So yeah, I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great week. And until next time, see ya.